Welcome to Humoranities with Sephora. Throughout season 1, I received a good number of questions about humanities. I thought it would be fun to add some color to the experience of creating a podcast, so I've decided to share some stories behind the stories to help bridge the gap between season 1 and season 2, which arrives in late January. Be sure to stay tuned. I'm lucky to have a novice podcaster help me host this special episode. Can you guess who she is?
The struggle is real. What part of podcasting is the hardest?
I thought writing content and speaking into a microphone would be hard, but it's nothing compared to marketing and advertising a podcast. So I'd have to say that the hardest part is the social media aspect. I definitely invited this challenge because technology is often my foe. I tried to have a whole social media strategy in place. I did research and started to follow some social media strategists who give tips on what prompts to write or the types of hashtags to use or even the time of day to post. I've tried some of that stuff, and well, let's just say I've not gone viral by any stretch of the imagination. Now I either focus on an episode and its themes, or I post whatever feels right on any given day. Some days feel like a picture day, others feel like a quote, and still others feel like they deserve a reel. I'm embarrassed to say that the first time I tried to remix a reel, I spent 4 hours struggling to add stickers and music and so on. And then when I went to post it, it just disappeared. Then I tried again and it disappeared. And then again. Of course, I didn't realize it kept dying because it had 31 hashtags instead of 30. That itself probably took me an hour to figure out. I feel like Humoranities is the kind of podcast that will have organic growth, where someone tunes in and enjoys it and then mentions it to a friend. I know when I chat with people and the topic of the podcast comes up, those brief exchanges result in a new listener. I've also come to find that a lot of people who might enjoy Humoranities are not actually active on social media because they're busy with their families, reading books, studying languages, and traveling. Ironic. But I'm still invested in the social media aspect because while I may not go viral anytime soon, I want to communicate and connect with others. After the pandemic, we're all less inclined to interact and comment on social media, but that doesn't mean we don't take in content. I want my family, friends, and the larger audience who listens to and follows Humoranities to know that I'm thinking of them. Each time someone stops to hear my thoughts and listen to me speak, it's humbling, and I appreciate each listen the podcast receives. But if you can, do comment on posts because those prompts will help me create future episodes of Humoranities that connect more directly with you as a listener.
When do you find the time to work on humanities?
I truly work on it any chance I get. I'm always writing notes to myself on my phone or in my little The Impossible is Possible blue notebook. I'm a morning person, so I'll get up early and work on writing out my thoughts or editing different segments. On the weekends, when the kids are out and busy, you'll find me talking to myself as I practice speaking into the microphone. Late at night, I'm tinkering around on Canva, trying to create the next viral, not viral post. It's fun to be preoccupied with the passion project, but there is a downside. Now, all my little gaps of time are filled with podcasting related items, so I have less time to connect with friends in real life. I think that will change sooner rather than later. The learning curve is always really steep when you're doing something new and challenging. It takes time to cultivate a knack for it, and as I make progress and develop some efficiencies in how I do things for Humanities, I think time will open up again. I'll be able to do more of what I love, which is recording voice notes for friends, and of course, reading more books, watching more dramas, and planning for more travel.
Can you give us any hints about what's in store for season 2 of Humanities?
Well, I think you'll notice how the podcast has improved production wise. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm much more comfortable speaking into a microphone than I was when I first started, that's for sure. And the second season is about socializing and social engagements, so it includes a bit more observational humor than perhaps season 1 did. I think listeners will really enjoy it, and I encourage you all to comment on social media posts or visit the Humanities website to send in your thoughts so that I can continue to develop content that resonates or is relatable. I hope you've had as much fun tuning in for the Stories Behind the Stories series as I have in sharing what happens behind the scenes. Thank you for listening to Humoranities. Enjoying the podcast? Please take a moment to rate it. And for more musings, visit humoranities.com and be sure to follow on all social media platforms.